right, is everyone ready? Is it turned on, David?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thanks for coming to the second press conference of the day here at the Odessa Police Department. This one is going to focus on bulletproof vests. We have a representative here today from Safariland, Shannon Couch, and this is going to focus briefly on the incident that occurred back in December involving that officer-involved shooting. First off, I'd like to turn the time over to Chief Burton for a few remarks.
Thank you, Steve. Let me begin by thank you all for coming once again this afternoon. Back on December 23rd of 2015, the nightmare scenario that every officer and every officer's family fears occurred here in the city of Odessa. At approximately 11:30 that morning, officers were attempting to arrest an armed fugitive. The resulting interaction ended with two officers being shot, Corporal Cory Wester and Sergeant Pete Gonzalez. That incident, tragic as it was, could have been vastly more tragic had either of those officers lost their lives at the hand of this dangerous felon. In the case of Corporal Wester, one of the things that protected him and saved his life was the ballistic body armor that he was wearing at the time that was able to contain the penetration of a bullet that hit him in the chest area. That protective body armor was courtesy of a company named Safariland, and their representative, Mr. Couch, is here today with us. I just want to add one note before I turn this over to Mr. Couch, and that is that, there are only two jobs where people put on ballistic body armor before they go to work. One is soldiers when they're going to war, and the other is police officers when they're going to work every day. And that should highlight for everyone the courage that it takes to don the uniform and the courage that it takes to work a law enforcement shift every night, day in and day out. And thank goodness for the protection of the body armor that the officers wear, and for those manufacturers like Safariland who produce the kind of product that helped to save officers' lives, and in this case definitely did serve to save Corporal Wester's life. I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Couch.
Chief, thank you for having us here today, and especially the Odessa Police Department. It's a privilege to be here and speak in front of you guys today. Just on a brief note, Safariland's a company that's been around since 1964. We produce duty gear, body armor, a variety of police-related products that helps officers do their job better. We stand by our motto, together we save lives, and that's really what it's all about. But today isn't about Safariland. It's really about honoring the heroes that are out there daily doing their job, just as the chief mentioned. So that comes to the point where we're at now. Safariland implemented a a saves program back in the late 80s. And since that time, we've recorded over 1,942 saves with our body armor, not counting our duty gear as well. Just this year alone, not in Texas, but across the United States, there's been 10 officers saved by our products as far as ballistic protection is concerned. And Corey's didn't count in that because that was last year. Currently, right now, we have another dozen or so entries of saves that are waiting to be validated and verified that they are truly ballistic saves of some sort or another. So the SAVES program is really here to recognize the heroes in our community, the guys and girls that go out there daily and risk their lives for our protection and our safety. It's just a way that our company has the opportunity to give back, to salute them, and thank them for their heroship. So with that, I would like to have Corey step up. I'm going to read a plaque to him, and I'll just read it off to you guys as well. So I'll get up here in the front. It says to Corporal Cory Wester of the Odessa Police Department, Corey's actually saved 1,939 within our company history. We salute you for your heroic courage and valor in the line of duty. Thank you, Corey. Chief, that's really about all I have. So if anybody wants to ask questions about armor or manufacturing of it and what we do with it, I'll be glad to answer those questions off cue or.
Mr. Couch can show you what armor is. He can explain what it does. If you have questions, or if you have any questions of me, feel free.
I understand there's been a lot of advances in body armor since the 1980s. What sorts of improvements have you seen, say, in today's vests that weren't available in the earlier years?
Well, technology has actually gotten us to where we are today. Our partners in armor manufacturing, such as Honeywell and Tianjin and some of the other companies that we use that supply the ballistic materials from us, obviously the chemistry behind developing fibers that will stop rounds that are going over 750 miles an hour, say when they leave a handgun, and stopping them within 44 millimeters or less once they impact the body, has grown significantly. We've seen less back-face imprintation. We've seen lighter, thinner, more high-performance materials. So, and that's what we would expect as our technology grows and we mature in that area, that we will continue to see that happen within the body armor business. So thinner, lighter, more high-performance materials. Certainly, we're at the turning point now where we're introducing even more. Actually, the piece of armor that Cory's armor was replaced with in the SAVES program is one of those newer high-performance vests that we spoke of. Not taking anything away from the vests that are currently out there, are the ones that are encouraged. Just as technology grows, we can produce higher performance, thinner and lighter body armor. And the whole purpose is to keep the officer comfortable, keep his mind off his armor, and keep his mind on his job while he's out there doing it daily. So.
Did you hold demonstrate for us?
Yeah, demonstrate for us
A piece of our body armor. This is actually a back panel, and this is the panel that faces away from faces towards the officer's body. So it's just a silhouette cut of the officer's body. So.
And where's the black one?
That's a t-shirt, or it's a polo shirt that I'm going to give to Cory. So.
Oh, okay.
So the front and the back are the same?
No, not at all. This actually back panel is a little bit wider and a little bit broader because it's cut to sculpt to the back of the body. The front piece of body armor is sculpted out to cut around the front, around the armpits, so we have mobility and full range, of motion while we're wearing the armor. So.
Is there a difference for male and female officers in the body armor?
That's a good question. Yes, there is. So we have standard male cuts, which are the flat panels, and we have female cuts as well that are sculpted to fit a female's body, which would include cups and different things like that. So, of course, size is, men, we kind of cover a little bit more territory than girls do. So the size is going to be a little bit different there. So, good questions.
You still have to retire the vest after a certain number of years?
The NIJ, all of our vests and our products go through a testing procedure set forth by the NIJ, the National Institute of Justice. They set the minimum criteria in which the armor has to pass before it can be sold to the police and law enforcement and military community. Our vests not only meet those minimum standards, but they exceed them tremendously. We also answer to independent testing. We take our vest once it passes or gets through all the the NIJ testing, we take it to the DEA and the FBI and have them do their independent testing on it as well. And then we have another independent lab that verifies those numbers. So our end release product, whatever we put on the label, is how the vest is going to perform. We stand behind that because it's been verified more than one time. I hope that answered your question.
Well, I was asking, I believe you still retire vests after like 5 years?
Yes, 5-year warranty on them because that's what the NIJ certifies it. Thank you for getting me back on track. That's what the NIJ certifies it for. Will a vest automatically stop working at the end of the 5-year manufacturing period? Absolutely not. But under the warranty circumstances, that's when the vest is retired and the officer receives a new piece of body armor.
And I guess the material is fabric, so like any fabric, I guess it wears out. Is that correct?
Well, it'd be like your clothing. It doesn't necessarily wear out. The coverings around them that are not made out of they're made out of non-ballistic materials and stuff. You'll see wear and tear on those. The carriers that these panels actually fit into, you'll see wear and tear on those as well. But the ballistic materials, unless they're impacted in a ballistic incident, generally very little wear and tear on them at all through the 5-year process. Of course, you have to deal with heat, humidity, temperature changes, sweat from the officer, perspiration. The outside conditions obviously take a toll on anything that's exposed to them. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, yes, over a 5-year time period, you'll see some degradation, but you won't see it over in the ballistic materials themselves. You'll see it on, so to speak, the wrapper.
As a matter of policy, we replace them at the end of the warranty period. Every officer is required to wear their body armor while on duty, and no officer is allowed to work on duty in the field without their body armor. Each piece of body armor is custom fit to the individual officer to provide not only maximum protection but comfort so that the officer can work their shift in a normal fashion, in a comfortable fashion. And at the end of the warranty period, we do replace the armor, which, as Mr. Couch has pointed out, it doesn't mean that it still doesn't work, but we want to retain the best piece of ballistic material that we can. And as things go, human beings tend to change size and shape over time. And so oftentimes replacements are required anyway.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you.
If you guys need my information, I have them up here on my business cards if you would like.
Corey, if we can get you Mr. Couch and the chief, we can get y'all.
Okay, thanks for coming, everyone. Now, if you can just allow a couple minutes for them to take pictures of Corporal Wester along with his family, and then you can ask, interview whoever else you would like for in reference to the vest. Thanks for coming.
Just a little bit. Is this good for you?
I just meant not way over. Y'all can scoot over.
Act like we like each other.
Can you show your
I'm not even.